News, politics, entertainment, and more. Welcome to The Informant. Independent talk, pursuing truth, informing everyone. Now, here is The Informant, Eric Thompson.
Hey, thank you for joining me. Welcome to the show. My name is Eric Thompson. This is a quick little just update on what's going on with the Informant show, and I want to cover the latest on Attorney General Barr and his testimony at the Congress. If it's the first time you're watching, my name is Eric Thompson. You can always get a hold of me at informantshow.com or the-informant.com. The reason why you haven't been seeing my videos or anything is because I am moving my show over to mojo50.com. It's a libertarian network, and let me show you their little website here because there's a lot of great shows, and I want to make sure that you can find me. Mojo50 Radio, and all you have to do is I'm on at 11 o'clock p.m. That's late, 11 o'clock on Pacific time, 2 in the morning out in the East Coast. So if you're not up, if you're not working a second or third shift, then what you can always do is go over to my website, and I'm going to have the videos and I'll have the audio playing of the previous day's show. So you can still watch it, but if you happen to be up and you're on iHeartRadio or if you're on Roku and you want to watch it or listen in, you can do that. So that's where the Informant show is going. I'm looking forward to being over there with Ron and Jeremy Hansen and Matt and everybody else. So that's where the Informant show is going. And you can also head over to magabook.com. That's my social media site, magabook.com, if you want to get information, because I'll be posting there as the Informant show. This is what I want to cover about Attorney General Barr, and we're going to finish this up pretty quick today. Here we go. Window capture. All right. If you don't know, you should, but Attorney General Barr was called to testify to Congress because his 4-page summation of the Mueller report didn't come out the way they wanted. So this is the second day of the Attorney General testifying, and the latest is he thinks that President Trump's campaign was spied on. Okay, this is from AP. The latest on the Attorney General William Barr's testimony to Congress, 420. Attorney General William Barr says he thinks, quote, spying did occur on President Trump's presidential campaign, suggesting the origins of the Russia investigation had been mishandled. He did not say what, quote, spying, unquote, had taken place, but he seemed likely to be alluding to a surveillance warrant the FBI obtained on a Trump associate. He later said he wasn't sure that there had been any improper surveillance, but wanted to make sure proper procedures were followed. Stiller's remarks gives a boost to Trump and supporters who insist his 2016 campaign was unfairly treated by the FBI. And last thing I want to cover with you, and you're going to hear this a lot. Well, the Democrats want the full Mueller report unredacted and all the underlying documents to support it. Attorney General Barr says you can't. And this is why. This is from nationalreview.com. Court ruling implies that Barr must redact grand jury info from Mueller report. Court ruling implies that Barr must redact grand jury info. And this is why. This is from Andrew McCarthy from National Review. And here's why, if your family, friends, or anyone asks, why isn't Mueller's full report given to Congress? This article says Democrats will complain, but the Attorney General cannot be faulted for following the law. He says, I flagged this case. This is McCarthy. It's called McKeever versus Barr. It was formerly McKeever versus Sessions. And what happens here is the question that the court had to rule on. Does a federal court have the authority to order disclosure of grand jury materials if a judge decides that the interests of justice warrant doing so, or is a judge limited to the exceptions to grand jury secrecy that are spelled out in Rule 6E of the Federal Rules of Criminal Procedure? The district courts ruled that 6E controls. Thus, judges cannot disclose the grand jury information outside the rule. It's significant because this is what the Democrats want to happen with Mueller's report. It involves a guy named Stuart McKeever. He's writing a book. He wants to get information for his book. So he sued because the court said, you can't have the information. Well, he appealed it. Well, it gets up to this court below, the next court. And believe it or not, the district judge asserted that federal courts, now listen to this, have inherent supervisory power to disclose grand jury materials, including those that are historically significant. This is called judicial activism. This is not the way it's supposed to work. Courts do not have inherent supervisory power to change, to override congressionally passed rules on how evidence can and cannot be dispersed. Okay, but ultimately, the judge said, but your reasoning was a little overbroad and it's kind of too wide, and I'm not going to let you have it, but I did have the power. Well, McKeever appealed it, so it gets up to the federal court in Washington, D.C. Now listen to this. It was a 3-judge panel. A justice came from Douglas H. Ginsburg. Now, the senior judge was appointed by Ronald Reagan, joined by Judge Gregory Katsas, who was appointed by President Trump. Judge Sri Srinivasan was appointed by Barack Obama, and I don't know, I think it's a guy, I'm not sure, but this person dissented, this judge. The majority explained the Supreme Court has long recognized the vital purposes served by grand jury secrecy. Thus, the secrecy must be protected unless there is some clear contrary indication in a statute or rule, disclosed in the exception, not the rule. Okay? So, in the end, this was a D.C. Circuit's decision, and they're saying, you know what? No judge below us. There is no overriding inherent supervisory power that you should even think about using in the future. But for this case, the answer is no. Rule 6E is in place. The grand jury information will stay redacted, and all cases following grand jury testimony is not allowed to be dispersed out to anybody who wants it. Nobody. So Attorney General Barr can't give a non-redacted copy of the Mueller report. It would be illegal. The Democrats don't care about legality, so they're like, the people want the unredacted version. Okay, but it's illegal. The people want an unredacted version, but it's illegal. But the left doesn't care. Alinsky said in his Rules for Radicals, the only unethical thing is not to use all the unethical things at your disposal to create the result that you want. So tell your friends and family, anybody on social media, Attorney General Barr, to follow the law, cannot release an unredacted version of the Mueller report, especially covering the grand jury testimony and what was said and who was in the grand jury. That information is not getting released. So there you go. So, hey, again, make sure you head over to, let me get you the website here, mojo50.com, mojo50.com. I'll see you guys Monday, 11 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, 2 a.m. Eastern. And take care of yourselves.